All right, greetings. Welcome to the Weekly Awakening. And today we're going to be talking about uh, how to make more money with your working with your dreams. How to make money working with your dreams is what we're going to be talking about today. And so, first off, uh, what I want to talk about is a few things. First, I'm going to talk about just dreams. Real quick intro to dreams. Essentially, your dreams are experiences within the subconscious mind, within the inner levels within your mind, the inner workings of your own mind. And so as we'll go through some other things about different universal laws and things and how the mind works and functions to be able to use your dreams to identify where this shift is occurring in order for you to make more money, because more money means a change in the money that you have, a change in the money that you're making. And so if you want to change something, there has to be a change within yourself. So we'll get into dreams about that and get into the different universal laws with that. But first, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. But first, just going to do a quick review of dreams and what dreams are. So as you move into your subconscious mind, the inner levels, then you're going to become aware of what's occurring within your mind, because that's where you're at and that's what you're experiencing while you're there. So what dreams can afford you is to understand what's occurring within your mind. It's a reflection of how you're using your mind. And as we get into the different universal laws and things, then we can understand why that's important. And so dreams are written in a language of images. And so as we understand what those images mean, then we can derive what it is that our dream is telling us. And so the language that it's in is, I call it the universal language of the mind, is what it's called. And so as you understand that language, then you begin to understand the message encapsulated within the dreams. And so the language is a language of form and function. You look at the form of the image itself, its form. What is its form? Like a vehicle, for instance. And how does it function? A vehicle takes us from point A to point B to help us reach our goals and destinations. And so how does that then relate to the mind or the soul, the self? And it's similar to the physical body. The physical body, my spirit and soul get into the physical body, just so they're inside the physical body, just like they use the physical body, just like we use a vehicle. And they use the physical body in order to reach the goals or destinations that we have for ourselves within our life. And so if you dream of a vehicle in your dream, then it's going to represent something pertaining to your body. Depending on what the vehicle's doing in the dream will help you to understand and identify what's occurring within your body, what your subconscious inner teacher is trying to tell you about your physical body. And so these images are our thoughts, because a thought is just an image. Like I say all the time, if I tell you to think of a balloon, so right now, just think of a balloon. So if you're thinking of a balloon, you're probably seeing the balloon in your mind. You can probably tell me what color the balloon is that you thought of, because you're seeing an image of it in your mind. Even if you only saw the words balloon, BALLOON, then you're still seeing an image. Those words are an image within your mind. So you think in images, not words. Now we use words to describe those images within our mind so that someone else that we're communicating to can receive those images or those words and formulate an image within their own mind. And so thus they have the same thought or know what you're speaking to. How's it going? Good to see you. And so our understanding our thoughts better will help us to better understand what's occurring within our dreams, because we're going to go a little bit deeper on breaking down what a dream is and the form of a dream to help us to understand how we can use our dreams to make more money. I pretty much just picked this because that's a lot of people's goal. No matter, even Bill Gates out here, Jeff Bezos out here still trying to make money. And he's making what, 250 million a day. He's still trying to make more money. So it's a goal for a lot of people. So I use that in order to help you to, understand more clearly and what it is, how the dreams are functioning. So, and it's something that you can practically use within your life right away. It's something that you're going to desire to want to use in order to make it happen. So if that's what a thought is an image, then what we're needing to do is understand our thoughts and understand our images, because Like there's different universal laws. A universal law, there's 13 universal laws. And universal law means that this law governs our universe for everyone, every person, anywhere, at any time. And so that's what makes it universal. And so the first universe, like the law of attraction, I'm sure a lot of people heard of the law of attraction. It was the first law that I ever heard of. I never read the book, but I watched the movie, The Secret. It was the first time I was introduced to the law of attraction a long time ago. And I enjoyed it at the time, but as I learned and understood the other 12 laws of the universe, I appreciated it because it shared it to a lot of people, including myself, but also I wish that there was more within it to help people to understand more so that they could be better at applying and harmonizing with that law for themselves. So because there's other laws at work, and the better that you understand them, then the better that you will be at applying or harmonizing with those laws, applying the principles within those laws. So the first one, we'll go ahead and talk about the law of attraction in case you haven't heard of it. The law of attraction essentially is like attracts like. So if whatever frequency that I'm resonating at, because your body resonates at a frequency, everything is made up of sound and light. So if you understand physics or quantum physics, then you understand that everything breaks down to a vibration, sound and light. And so we all have a frequency. Everything has a frequency. Everything holds a frequency. And so the device you're using to watch this holds a frequency. The plant in the corner of the room holds a frequency. The bee holds a frequency. The earth is vibrating and resonating at a specific frequency. So whatever frequency that we are vibrating at is the frequency that we will be attracting to us, because like frequencies will join up together. Somebody, it's rare that you're going to see somebody who is just always, angry and hateful and mean and aggressive towards people, be consistently around someone all day, every day, that is joyous and loving and caring and sharing. You're very rarely going to see them being best friends every day, day in, day out, all the time. One of them or both of them would begin to shift towards that frequency if they do remain around each other, because law of attraction, like attracts like. So you're gonna resonate to your frequency. Like another example is Bruce Lipton. He's a famous geneticist, and he talks about how we attribute characteristics and things from our parents, made primarily because it's the environment that we were raised in, more so than the genes that we have. And he has a lot of, you can research all of the data and research that he's done with that, and the proof that he has to back that up with. But that's what he says, and I've done the research and believe what he says based off of his merit and what he presented. But and I've also reapplied those same laws into my life to understand that it's true as well. But that's kind of the law of attraction. So the environment which you remain in is going to have an influence on the vibration the frequency that you vibrate at, which is going to attract to you the things that also vibrate at the same frequency, or the people as well that vibrate at a similar frequency. So, like in Think and Grow Rich, it talks about, the 5 closest friends that you have you're going to have essentially the same similar wealth to the 5 closest friends that you have. It's pretty much speaking to the same law, like attracts like. If your 5 closest friends are dirt poor, then you could be the richest man. You're eventually going to be dirt poor if you stay around them too long. And likewise, so if you and all of your friends and cohorts are slowly raising your vibration together, it'll slowly build that wealth. So that's kind of the law of attraction. The next law that I want to talk about is the law of cause and effect. So our thoughts are the cause, and the physical manifestation of those thoughts is the effect. So that's essentially letting you know that the beginning of changing that. So with the law of attraction, we were talking about how mostly we were focusing on how our environment can influence us and change the frequency and vibration that we vibrate and resonate at, thus having an effect on what we attract to us. Well, it all primarily begins internally, because if I want to change the environment that's influencing me, which then in return creates the environment, then I must first change that cycle from within to change my own vibration, which will then change my environment, which will then reinforce the vibration that I'm changing into. And so that all begins with thought, because thought is the cause of all creation in this physical reality, and so what you want to do then is understand, one, how your thoughts create, and also understand, because if you understand how your thoughts create, then you have a better understanding in helping to change the thoughts that you're thinking in order to create a new thought. Because a belief is just a thought you continue to think. So as you continue to think that thought, then it'll create a stronger belief, which kind of gets into the third law. But before we jump into that, just essentially wanted to convey how our thought is caused. Like in the Dhammapada, it's the teachings of the Buddha. It says that he says a pure thought, or joy follows a pure thought like a shadow that never leaves. As you think, so you become. Your thoughts create your reality. As you think, so you become. So it's the very first line of the Dhammapada, which is his teaching. In the Bible, it says, as you sow, so shall you reap. Essentially all of that is saying is that your thoughts create your reality. And I've been saying that for years. So my closest friends all are aware of my belief in that and my knowing of that, because like I said, I've put these laws into practice. So on that note, I'd also like to share and say to you that, once again, please do not believe anything I'm saying just because I'm saying it. And don't believe anything I'm saying, period. But what I would like you to do, because I don't want nobody to believe anything I'm saying, because then you're relying on me. Because then if I'm wrong, then you're going to be wrong if you believe in me. If I'm right, then you're going to be right. So then you being aligned with truth, universal truth or not, is going to be dependent upon me. I don't want you to be dependent upon me. I want you to be dependent upon yourself. Be independent of anything. So what I would share and suggest is that you be open to these principles and then take them and apply them to your life so that you can determine for yourself whether it's true or not. So we talked about the law of attraction. We talked about a little bit about the law of cause and effect. And so another universal law that has a lot to do with this and understanding this is the law of manifestation, or also known as the law of believing and knowing. Because the difference between believing something and knowing something is experience. So that's why I asked you to create an experience for yourself. So if you believe something, like right now you're watching this video, and so if I were to call up your best friend and say, that, hey, there's this video on the Weekly Awakening talking about money in your dreams, or if you called your best friend and told him, hey, there's this video, and then I called him and told him, nah, I don't got no video like that. If they have never seen the video, then they would just have to be at the mercy of believing either you or me. And so they wouldn't be able to, they might be able to, okay, well, I kind of believe this person more because I find them being more trustworthy. I've known them for a long time or whatever. But they would be at the mercy of whether they believe me or not. But I can't sit here and call you up right now and say, no, I ain't got no video like that. Like, I'm experiencing. I'm watching it right now. You can't lie to me. You can't tell me a non-truth because I'm experiencing it. And so nothing's going to shift you from that because you've experienced it. And so I'm sure you can think back in your life of different things that you've experienced, different truths that you've understood because you've experienced it within your life. You've seen it in action over and over, time and time again. You've seen it yourself. You've seen it happen with other people. And so it's a truth that you know to be true. And so nobody else can tell you any different because you've experienced it. So you know it. It's not something you believe in. And so with everything, don't leave it up to belief. Try to make a determination of whether it's true or not. And so that's what I ask of you, and so because it'll help you to align with the law of believing and knowing. And so how do you do that? So right now, when I first started with working with money, because I had a poverty consciousness for a long time, mostly because of like I said, the environment I grew up in. It wasn't terrible, extreme. It wasn't extreme poverty, but it definitely wasn't. It was definitely a lot of rice and beans nights, bologna sandwich days with no bread sometimes, but I mean, not all the time. My mom worked real hard to make sure we had a lot, And so, but I did grow up with a poverty consciousness. I'm not going to deny that. And a lot of that, with working with that in the beginning, I realized that I was going to have to change my thinking, because my belief was that money was hard to come by. Like, having a lot of money was hard to come by because I always needed more money, and that was a strong belief that I had, because, like I said, a belief is just a thought you continue to think. So it was a thought that I continue to think. I continue to think, I don't have enough money. I get a bill in the mail, I don't have enough money. I get go walking into a store, and even though I have enough money for what I want to buy, so that's the one thing that I have enough money for this one thing, but everything else I'm walking past, all these TVs I'm walking past, all this other stuff I'm walking past, I don't have enough money. As soon as I leave, going out to my car, I got enough money for my car because I got it. Most of my cars, I've never had payments on a car. So my car, I actually got it. But on my way walking to there, I'm walking past this kind of car. I don't have enough money for that. 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 So I'm walking past 50 cars thinking unconsciously or subconsciously or even consciously, I don't have enough money. And then I get to my car and my one thought of I have enough money. So the I don't have enough money is going to far outweigh that. So that's the thought that I'm continuing to think. So it's what I'm going to believe. And it's thought so much that it's a strong belief that I begin to experience different things. I'm late on a bill. I get overdrafted from my bank, a letter in the mail on that. So I'm because I'm thinking this thought, I'm creating experiences that are going to reinforce that thought. And so then those experiences create the thought even stronger. Oh my God, I really don't have enough money. I owe $35 plus the $25 in overdrafted. I really don't have enough money. You know what I mean? So it really creates experiences. Then that strengthens that thought even more. And so it's just this downward spiral. Like they say, the letter of the number of the devil is 666, but truly 666 is the downward spiral. 666. It's that downward spiral. So you just have to loop that back up. And so that's what I'm trying to teach you today, is how to take that downward spiral and loop it back up, where it's 999, to where you're then elevating and escalating, to where you're then coming around full circle, but you're on a new level. Coming around full circle, but you're on a new level. Coming around full circle, but you're on a new level. So that's what I'm trying to share with you from what I've learned from it, so you can then apply these principles into your life to find out for yourself. Like I said, find out for yourself what's true. So if we need to change, if believing moves into knowing, because our thoughts create our reality, and we understand that a belief is just a thought that you continue to think, and what you create and what you become then affects your environment, which also has another effect on what you become and who you are, what you resonate at and what you attract. Then we can understand that it all comes back to our thoughts. So we have to try to provide ourselves with the most pure thoughts, the most elevating thoughts, the most positive, productive thoughts. So a lot of people that I find that's, talk about, oh yeah, positive thinking, I don't know, it could work. But if you tell them that, well, what about negative thinking? You believe that negative thinking works? You believe if you just start talking down on yourself, beating yourself up every day, that's going to do something? Oh, no, I ain't going to do that. Why would I do that? Oh, okay, so you believe in negative thinking, but you don't believe in positive thinking. And then, you can kind of, oh, well, maybe I do believe in positive thinking. But the most of it isn't, because most of the time when I have those kind of conversations, the person is thinking about conscious thoughts. And most of what I'm talking about is happening in the unconscious, because nobody's, who understands this is going to be consciously thinking, no, I don't have enough money because that's what I want to continue to experience, and I have enough money. No, they're unconscious thoughts. These are thoughts that are just out of habit, so they might also show up as animals in the dreams, powerful, big, strong animals, a bear or a dragon or something coming at you in the dream, so because they're powerful habits, because these thoughts are habitual thoughts that just happen. I wasn't sitting there, get an overdraft in the mail and just choose to think, yeah, I'm right, I don't have enough money. No, it was habitual. First thought, oh shit, I don't have enough money. And so I just want to share with these, give a couple examples to help you understand these universal laws, so that you can understand how your mind is working, how the environment, how Mother Nature is working with you, how the universe is working with you, or how you're, it's working against you if you're kind of flowing, trying to swim upstream. So I'm just trying to help you to understand this so that you can understand how it's going to work for you. So the first thing we need to do is understand how to change our thoughts. Because if we want to change who we are, then we have to change our thoughts. We have to change how we think. So that's at the core of what we're going to talk about today. So after that, then let's talk about what we're here to talk about, money. So money in your dream. So that's what I'm talking about, money in your dream. What does money represent? In a dream, money represents value. Because like I said, the universal language of the mind is a language of form and function. What is the form? Money. And how does it function? It functions by in exchange of energy. So I give you this much because that's how much I value what you're exchanging back to me. So it's an energetic exchange. Money is. Money is just a symbol of energy. How much energy you got. It's going to highly reflect how much money you got. And so if you understand that I'm, because like for instance, if I want to sell you a box of Cheerios, and I said this is $300, me saying, what, somebody signed this and some Wheaties by Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Scottie Pippen or something? I don't value it that much, so I'm not going to give you $300. At most, I might give you $3, because that's how much I value it. And so that's kind of why money is a symbol of value in physical reality, but also in within the universal language of mind, it's a symbol of value. But like I've always said, with dreams, every person, place, or thing, including money, in a dream is a part of yourself. So if it represents value and it's a part of yourself, then it's going to be representing your self-value, your self-worth. So depending upon what's happening with the money in the dream, it will give you insight into what is going on with your own self-value and self-worth. Are you somewhere and you don't have enough money to pay for what you got, what you're getting? Are you checking your bank account and there's no money there? Are you lacking in self-value, self-worth? Is somebody coming up and robbing you, in the dream? I've had dreams like that before, plenty of dreams like that. I ain't had none in a long time like that, but I used to have a lot of dreams like that. All of a sudden somebody, taking what I got or robbing me, stealing me from somehow. And like I said, every person, place, or thing in a dream is a part of you. So that person is me, taken from myself. So I mean, it's like, well, how was that? I never go in my pockets and just throw it away. Maybe I have, but it's going to be meaning I'm stealing from myself. I'm taking away from my own value. I'm devaluing myself. And so I'm sure at some point in our life, and maybe you can't relate, but if you can't relate to it personally, I'm sure you've seen it. And if you can't relate to it personally, I know you've seen it in other people where we will talk down on ourselves, or, maybe somebody congratulates you and you just, it might come from a nature of wanting to be humble, but you don't really receive that or accept that, or you just downplay it like, oh, it wasn't nothing, yeah, I got lucky, no. Don't let the ego get in front and be all super egoic, but, receive that, know your value, know your worth. And so as you do, or in the dream are you getting a check? Are you getting a check in the mail? Are you looking at your app on your phone? All of a sudden you got 10 million in there. I've known plenty of people I've even had dreams of that, where all of a sudden I'm looking at my bank account, I'm like, man, where all this money come from? It's a lot of money. Or I walk into a room and there's a big old pile of cash. I was talking to a friend the other day, my sister the other day, and she was talking about how, she just received this large check. And she's been doing a lot recently on, changing the way she thinks and having more of a prosperous consciousness, because she has, certain goals, and she's making it towards those goals. And so it's evident because it's showing up in the dreams. And so, as you do this, then it's gonna. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is that it can show up in different kind of ways, and however the money's showing up in your dream, it'll give you insight into how you view your own self-value and self-worth. Now, what does that have to do with making money in the physical reality? Because that's what we hear about. I can win the lottery all I want in my dream, but if I wake up, that reminds me of one time I was dreaming, and in my dream, I had to go somewhere. So I just opened up the top drawer, and there was just rolls, just like big old rolls, like this big of money, just all in my top drawer. I had to go somewhere, so I just opened up the top drawer, pulled out 2 rolls, put them in both pockets, shut the drawer, and walked out, and did all type of other stuff in the dream. But then I woke up, and I'm sitting there like slowly waking up and thinking about my dream and what happened, and interpreting it. And before I even get to that, I just kind of like wake up and just kind of like thinking, and then I remember that moment where I got into my drawer. My drawer was just full of money, so I just jump up real quick, run over there, open it up, and it's the moment I put my hands on the drawer handles, I knew, oh man, that was just a dream. This ain't real. But I still opened it up and just cringed as I looked at my socks, rolls of socks, and so I knew it wasn't real. So like I said, it's one thing to get all this money in the dream, but how can we make that shift to bring it into the reality? But like I said, going back and forth from the universal laws, the law of attraction, the law of, like attracts like, the law of cause and effect. Our thoughts create our reality because like attracts like, as above, so below, as within, so without. And then the law of manifestation, how to manifest things into this physical reality, which is also known as the law of believing and knowing. A belief is just a thought you continue to think. And the more you believe something, the more you will create that experience. The more you experience it, the more you know it to be true. So it all starts with the thought. And so if I need to increase my own, if money in a dream represents my own self-value, then the more that I value myself, then the more my environment, the more I resonate at that frequency of knowing my own worth and value, the more my own value increases, as within, so without. The more that my own self-worth increases, like attracts like, my own resonating frequency will reverberate into my physical reality, attracting that to me. And so the more that I believe that, and more I increase my own self-worth and self-value and know that to be true, but I first have to believe it before I can know it to be true, then the more I will see that reflected in my physical reality. So how do we do that? How do we change our thoughts? If I'm having dreams of people robbing me, me robbing myself, me taking from myself, if I'm having dreams of empty pockets and nickels fall out, just 2 of them, if I'm having dreams of checking my bank account and there ain't nothing there, how do I change that into real dollars in my real bank account? It begins with your thought. It all begins with your thought, and every thought seeks to manifest. So if I'm sitting here thinking, so you got to change your thinking, but you have to really change your thinking, because these are strong thoughts, these are strong beliefs, because they're and the reason they're so strong is, like I said, a belief is just a thought you continue to think. So the reason they're so strong is because you so strongly believe in them, because you're thinking it so much. Like I said, just one trip to the store, I can be walking into the store, and everything that I'm passing up, man, I don't have enough money for that. 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 Oh, the book I'm here to buy. I have enough money for this. One thought. And then I turn back around. I don't have enough money for that. I don't have enough money for that. I don't have enough money for that. I do have enough money for that, but I don't have enough money to get it right now. I got my other money for other stuff. I don't have enough money for that. Here's at the register. Everything at the register. I got enough money for it, but ain't none of it worth buying. I don't value it. And then as I leave, I'm walking past all these cars. I don't have enough money for that. A Jag. I don't have enough money for that. A Tesla. I don't have enough money for that. A Range Rover. I don't have enough money for that. A Lexus. I don't have enough money for that. Oh, here go my Toyota. I got enough money for that. So out of all of that, I've had 2, maybe 3 thoughts of I do have enough. And then 60, 70, 80, 100 thoughts of I don't have enough. Then I get home, get my bills. How many times have you come home and you've seen bills in the mailbox? And how many times have you come home and you've seen checks in the mailbox? Tell me that. so there you go. You get your mail. I don't have enough money for this. I don't have enough money for this. I don't have enough money for this. You know what I mean? How many times a week do you get bills? How many times a week do you get a paycheck? I only get one every 2 weeks. So I don't even get one every week. I definitely get bills every week. So it's very strong that we think of these thoughts of not having enough. And so we have to really think very strongly on having enough. And so how do we do that? We have to continually think that. And so that's where affirmations come in. And so like a lot of times people talk about affirmations, and I appreciate it and I like it, but sometimes I don't really get frustrated, but I really want to add to it, or just really explain to people that affirmation is only going to work the more you apply it. Now, if you go into the bathroom and brushing your teeth and you got a Post-it note up there of I am worthy, I am valuable, then good. And you say that every time you brush your teeth. That means you're saying it 2 more times than you normally would have said it before. Granted, if you're brushing your teeth twice a day, so you're gonna say it 1 more time in the morning and 1 more time at night. So how many other times throughout the day are you saying that? Versus how many times just to the trip to the store you're saying I don't have enough. And so affirmations are only going to work the more you say them, the more you speak them. And the only way you're going to see a shift in the results is if you're saying the affirmation and you're thinking the thought, because a belief is only a thought that you continue to think. So if you continually think, I am worthy, I am valuable, 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 you have to say that enough times to where it outweighs all of the times throughout the day you're reiterating in one way or another, I am not worthy, I'm not valuable, I don't have enough. So that means I'm not worthy for that. I'm not valuable enough for that. My own net worth, my own self-worth does not equal what that is to be able to sustain the rest of my living of food and water and shelter. You know what I mean? So, we have to change that thinking of I am enough, I am worthy, I am valuable. You have to have that outweigh the other thoughts. Because if you have this big belief of I am not worthy, I'm not valuable, and you have this little small belief of I am worthy, I'm valuable, you say it 2 times a day, so it's this big, you got the other one this big, then which one's going to get crushed? If you say it at least equal amount of times, then you combat it. If it's more than the other, then it's equal to crush the other until you begin to have that. Because then if you think it enough, then you create a new belief, a stronger belief. And so that stronger belief is going to manifest first before the other one. And so then you're going to start to have experiences because, like I said, the universal law of believing and knowing. You first have to build the belief in order to create an experience, because the difference between believing and experiencing or believing something and knowing something is experience. So you have to create that experience where then you can know your value, you can know your worth. Because at first you might not be believing. You might be like, I'm valuable, I'm worthy, and you don't believe it. I'm abundant, I'm prosperous. I'm saying it, but at the same time, I just paid, my last bill and got $20 to last me till next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. But I'm still going to say I'm worthy, I'm valuable, even though I don't believe it yet, because you haven't thought it enough yet. So you have to think it before you believe it. A lot of people say, I believe it when I see it. Now you got to believe it in order to see it. So you have to think these thoughts, whether you believe them or not. Think them. And when you think them enough, then you'll begin to believe them, because you'll then create experiences for yourself to reinforce that thought. Oh, okay, maybe I am worthy and valuable. So now every time you're saying I'm worthy, I'm valuable, there's a little belief in that voice. So now you're thinking it differently. I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm valuable. And so then that's going to create new. Oh man, I just got a little bonus. I wasn't expecting no bonus. My job don't even give bonuses. But I got a bonus. Shit, where'd that come from? I am worthy, I am valuable. This shit working. I am worthy, I am valuable. Damn, who would have thought it would work? I am worthy, I am valuable. Now I really believe it. And then I start to experience more things to where I know it's true. So then I'm going to do, I'm worthy, I'm valuable. And then it's second nature. Like in a complaint free world, I learned about the 4 different stages of change. You have unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. Where you don't realize what you're doing wrong, and then you become unconscious competence, incompetence, then conscious incompetence, where you do realize what you're doing wrong, and then you start making a shift to where you are conscious of what you're doing right, which is conscious competence. And you do that so much until you don't even think about it. You're unconscious to doing the right thing. You're unconscious competence. You're unconscious to doing the right thing, to where it's just second nature. To where at that point, after having so many different experiences and believing it so freely, that you just naturally walking through the world. I do have enough. I do have I remember the first time I started a certain practice which I would suggest you to do is leave $100 in your wallet, or start with $100 and or $500, in your wallet, whatever. Just have some type of cash on you, and so it's going to change, because physical money it has an effect, because it's real, it's physical. So the energy of it is going to be around you versus like digital money, so it's so much different nowadays because there's so much digital money. I could have, $30,000 in the bank, and yeah, it's going to affect my consciousness, but not as much as if I had that $30,000 with me, because the energy of it is going to be there. And so, so I remember the first time I did that, I walked into, Walgreens. I've been in Walgreens all the time. I just walked in. I thought, and there's been plenty of times where I walked into Walgreens and I had enough money on me to buy everything in the store. When the first time I walked in there with all that money. And so I thought, man, I can buy anything in this store. I can buy damn near everything in this store. Not really everything, but it just completely shifted my consciousness. I could just feel it shift and change. And so you want to do different things like that, and it's gonna create new experiences to where you then, instead of believing it, you know it. And so that's the shift. So what I suggest is for you to come up first, determine what is the thought that you continue to think that is creating the lack of money from what you desire to have, and identify that. And then what is the thought that will counteract that? So for me, it was all about self-worth and self-value. And so I created the thought, I, Tarak, am worthy. I, Tarak, am valuable. I, Tarak, am worthy. I, Tarak, am valuable. And I made it a goal to say that 1,000 times every day. And that's what I suggest. I mean, maybe starting out, maybe just say it 100 times every day, because by the time I started that, I was practicing concentration exercises for a long time. So it's easy to keep my mind and attention on that throughout the whole entire day. I'd be sitting there, like I was waiting tables at the time. So I'd be sitting there waiting tables and people telling me their order. And just in the back of my mind, I'm still, I, Tarak, am worthy. I, Tarak, am valuable. I, Tarak, am worthy. I, Tarak, am valuable. You said extra cheese? All right, thank you. I, Tarak, am worthy. I, Tarak, am valuable. And because it was so second nature, it was so easy. So, but maybe for you, you can't really do that. So maybe start out with 100 times a day. But I'm telling you, if you do an affirmation like this, you want to do it as many times as you can, but make it a goal of at least 100. And if you're hitting 100, then increase it to 500. If you're hitting 500, then increase it to 1,000. I'm telling you. So for instance, the difference between saying it 100 times and 1,000 times, the difference between that is 10, right? 100 times 10 is 1,000. So if it takes me saying it 100 times a day, if it's going to take me 10 months to see the results of saying it 100 times a day, then that means saying it 1,000 times a day, it's only going to take me 1 month. If it's going to take me 1 month, 4 weeks of saying it 1,000 times a day, then that means it's only going to take me 1 week if I say it 4,000 times every day to have that same shift in my consciousness, to have those same results. So the more rapid of the results that you want, the more times you will think this new thought, and the more times you will say this affirmation. So I just want to leave you with that also, because it's in your hands. I mean, like I'm over here working for myself, and I'm also freely giving and sharing all this that I've understood and know to be true with all of you. But only you can do this. You can continue watching more of my videos. You watch more of other people's videos. You can hear of other people's stories. You can read different books. You can do all that, but nothing's going to change until you do the work. And the more you put into it, like anything, the more you're going to get out of it. Because as within, so without, the law of attraction, the law of cause and effect. And so it all kind of cycles back around to that. So, there's other videos that I got on the other 9 universal or 10 universal laws. So because all of those can relate. Like one of them is the law of infinity. Anything is possible. You only believe that it's not possible because it's the belief. You don't know it's not possible because you ain't never experienced it being done. You don't know this. You don't truly know that anything is impossible. You only believe that it's not, but anything is truly possible. And in order, what I would suggest, like I said, don't believe anything I'm saying, but be open to it. So think of something that's impossible for you. Maybe $10,000 more, $10,000 more dollars by the end of September sounds pretty fucking impossible for you. Then put it to the test. Put it to the test. Okay, let me see if this universal law of infinity is true. Put it to the test. Say this thought: I am worthy, I am valuable. Say it 10,000 times every day. And let me see if you don't start getting more closer to $10,000 by the end of this month. I challenge you to that if you don't want to believe none is true. Or just don't believe none is true and keep on going with your life. I don't care. I ain't gonna sweat it none. I'm putting in my work. I'm seeing the changes in my life. I just want to share that with you, so you can see if you can see those changes in your life. So like I said, this video is gonna be back up on Facebook. So feel free to go back through, take notes, do whatever you like. There's plenty of other sources and resources because I didn't make this stuff up. I didn't come up with this. It's in different holy scriptures, holy texts. Ancient. It's ancient knowledge. So you can find it anywhere. You ain't got to get it from me. But if you do, then great. That's why I'm giving it freely, because I want other people to share and receive from it the way that I have, benefit from it the way that I have, or even greater. I would hope that each and every one of you become greater than me. That's the truth. And so that's where I'm gonna leave it today, because and also one thing, actually one more thing that I want to talk about is look at what's going on in your dreams. Because even if you aren't having money in your dreams going on, when you start doing these things, money is going to start showing up in your dreams, because it reflects your own self-value. Your own self-value is increasing. So look at what's going on in your dreams with the money. And then, either send me a message or, look at the other videos on dreams, or maybe you kind of got an understanding of the universal language of the mind, but determine what the message is in that dream and then begin to apply it to your life. Because what your subconscious mind, what your inner teacher is going to start doing is start showing to you what the next step is, because something led you to this video tonight, or today, whenever you're watching it. It's nighttime right now, as you can see, but something led you to this. So that was your first step. You're going to take action on it. That'll be your next step. If you do take action on it and put forth effort, then you begin to change and you start remembering more of the dreams. And then you have that show up in the dream. Well, that is the message of the next step. It's a more direct message, not so subtle, just some sort of inner thought like, oh man, I'm scrolling through YouTube. Oh, I found this. Let me go ahead and play it. Some little inner urge to push that. Now it's a more direct message. Like, hey, this is what's going on. These are the results. Here's where you move forward. But you got to apply that to your life. Like I said all the time, experiencing dreams are amazing. I didn't used to think they were amazing. I used to have nightmares all the time. But nowadays, experiencing dreams are amazing. And it can be amazing for anybody, for you, for anybody. I got another video on that, on how to get rid of nightmares, if you want to check that out. But writing down your dreams is important. Interpreting the dreams is vital. But unless you put that message into practice in your life, then all of it was purposeless. There might have been some purpose there, but the true purpose of the dreams is lost. So apply it to your life. Take these messages and apply it to your life. So I hope this was of value to you. I'm not asking for no money back, but I hope you did receive value from it. I don't need no exchange from it. I received the exchange. I don't need to receive it directly from you. I received it directly from my job. That's the nature of my job. I receive from there and I give to here. So, but I do receive from here as well. So like, for instance, I got a book coming out on dreams. Life is but a dream, as you think, so you become. So at this weekend, I guess I should say in case somebody's watching this, 2 weeks from now. So it is September 12th, 2018. So this weekend, well, I guess that's the 16th and 15th, 16th and 17th, it will be available for pre-order. And it'll be shipped to you or available to buy and purchase immediately first week of October. So that'll be on at least the ebook right now will be there. I don't know if the paperback will be available for pre-order, but it will be ready by the 1st of October. So 1st of October you can get it. The ebook you can pre-order this weekend. Life is but a dream, as understanding yourself through understanding your dreams. So if you want to know more about your dreams, check it out. If not, you can still check it out. Or you can check out other videos. If you have more questions, feel free to ask on any of the live streams. Next week, though, we're going to take a break from dreams next week, and we're going to talk about the power of the breath. This was inspired by my young brother, my little brother Malachi. One of his friends inspired me to want to convey, the power of the breath, as well as the Holy Trinity. What's really being conveyed with that. So I won't be putting together a whole lot with it, but kind of the basics and the rundown, a little bit of that, we're going to be talking about in next week's live stream. So So if you want to know more about your breath or understand the power of your breath, something so simple. The breath is beautiful. It's beautiful and powerful, powerful. So, don't just let that tool that you have just slip by through your hands every day, in and out. It does have powerful power, and you can use that to create powerful effects in your life, including what we talked about tonight, with the money and the affirmation, so manifestation. So check that out next week. We got plenty of other videos. Like I said, if you got any dreams, got any questions, send me an email, selfawareness3@gmail.com. Shoot me a message on any one of these, Facebook, Instagram, at The Weekly Awakening. We on YouTube. I have the YouTube going up today, but for some reason, as soon as I hit go live, it cut out. So I was a couple minutes late today, but we'll get the YouTube going here soon. So it'll be on there. There's plenty of other videos on YouTube, though, on dreams, universal laws, the structure of the mind, different things like that. So check it all out, and be on the lookout for that book. So I definitely appreciate everybody. Appreciate your love and support. I love all of you, and hope this was a benefit to you, value to you. And as always, I leave you in peace.